winning a state championship. He'll face Mark Schmitz of Mineral Point, a junior, 29-2. Winter from Franklin, Schmitz from Mineral Point, and they're into it right away. Winter in the black uniform with the yellow trim. Mark Schmitz with the white trim, and it says Mineral Point High School on the sides.
I'm certain that Danny's victory at 126 didn't hurt Mike at all. I'm certain that he'd like to be the second member of the Winter family to win a state championship here this evening in Madison.
Mike Winter, he's a senior, but he's the younger of the two brothers. He's only 17. They both are seniors. Danny, who won a match ago, is 18 years old, and Mike is only 17. Again, the coach, Jimmy Keepers. Both still on their feet. First period, 1:14 remaining. Mike Winter, decision Mike Smart of Oconomowoc in the quarterfinals, and beat Rick Tomaszewski of Waiawega, 2-2, 1-1 referee's decision, and a close one to get into the championship match tonight. Mark Schmidt won the Janesville sectional, pinned Steve Bain of West De Pere at 5:53 in the quarterfinals, and beat Mike Kuglich of New Berlin West 5-0 in the semifinals to bring him to this championship match, and we're under a minute now, no score from either wrestler. Mark Schmitz of Mineral Point, Mike Winter of Franklin.
This is a little more typical of a championship match, Marsh. The young men are a little more cautious. The first three matches we had, the action was almost unbelievable, starting out with that 98-pound match. There's no score yet in this one. I think the two young men have a lot of respect for each other.
Well, Mark Schmidt certainly comes from a school with a great wrestling tradition at Mineral Point. They're coached by Al Bauman, and Al's been there 15 years. Schmitz gets the takedown, and he leads it 2-0. He's got three brothers, and they all wrestle. He's got a couple of sisters that are here cheering him in the stands. The whole family is here. In fact, I think most of Mineral Point is here tonight.
They usually are, Marsh. 5 seconds left.
Right. We're winding down in the first period. Schmitz leads it 2-0, and that's the end of the first period.
Referee Dick Fish flips a disc out there, and the color of the wrestler that comes up, that wrestler then receives his choice as to whether or not he wants to be in the position of advantage, which is up, which Mark Schmidt selected, or the position of disadvantage, which is down, where Mike Winter is at now.
Mark Schmitz in the control position from Mineral Point. He is in his third state tournament. Mike Winter in his second state tournament. Both young men were here last year, but fell short of the state championship. One of them is going to win one tonight.
One thing I might point out about Mark Schmitz is he's a very sound wrestler. He's seldom out of position, and he's good from all positions. He's good on his feet. He's excellent in the control position, as he's showing now, and he's also good from down. So he's a very complete wrestler for a junior.
Well, our coverage of the WIAA tournaments has expanded this year to include high school hockey. Join us next Saturday afternoon, March 4th, for the WIAA Hockey Championship game live from the Dane County Coliseum here in Madison. 1 minute remaining in the first period.
Second period, Marsh.
Okay. 2-0. Mark Schmitz leads it, and he is in control right now. He's wrestling Mike Winter of Franklin. Mike Winter told me his nickname was White Lightning, and he's going to need some right now to get out from underneath. He needs a couple points.
Referee Dick Fish just signaled the escape. He was able to turn around and face Mark Schmitz, so the score is now 2-1.
Both wrestlers now in the neutral position with 20 seconds remaining in the second period. Schmitz is trying to get around behind, and it looks like Winter tried to sit out a little bit. It was kind of a half sit out. 5 seconds on the clock in the second period. Schmitz leads it 2-1. Everest leads the team total with 81 points. River Valley 75, Oconomowoc 51.5, Franklin 45.5. River Valley still has a shot at the championship. They have 2 wrestlers alive here in the championship finals. DC Everest is all done. The best they can do is their 81 points. So it's up to River Valley to control their own destiny, and they have 2 wrestlers left. We're at 132 pounds now. Mike Winter of Franklin, Mark Schmitz of Mineral Point.
You'll notice Mark Schmitz now is not doing anything foolish. He's been to his feet about twice, but he's returned to the mat to regain his base. He's not taking any chances on getting turned here by Mike Winter with a 2-1 lead.
Well, he's to his feet. 1:15 remaining. Winter had his leg tied up.
Now Mark Schmitz is where he wants to be, Marsh. He's on his feet. If he can get control of the hands. Now Winters drops down to a leg again, but he's not going to score points from down there, Marsh. He's either got to turn him or release him and take him down.
Mark Schmitz wrestling a very, very intelligent match, and now we have...
For these young men in the state championship finals, that would be a very, very tough way to lose the match. Now here, Mike Winter has released Mark Schmitz in the hope that he can take him down and tie it 3-3. There are 35 seconds. He hadn't better wait too long.
Schmitz goes in for the leg shot and gets the 2 points, and now he's out in front 5-1.
Mark Schmitz just did the smartest thing you can do in a situation like that. You initiate the takedown and score, and it's 5-1. And Marsh, I think the 132-pound state champion is going to be from Mineral Point this year.
Well, it's going to happen in about 10 seconds unless Mike Winter turns the tide. Mark Schmitz in control, 29-2, a junior. He's going to be back next year. That's it. Listen to the crowd. A great delegation from Mineral Point here tonight. And the winner, Mark Schmitz, by a score of 5-1. He beats Mike Winter. So the Winter brothers from Franklin split tonight. Dan wins the championship at 126. Mike loses at 132. There you're looking at him being hugged by Al Bauman, the Mineral Point coach. And right now we go to walk. Now the awards for the 132-pound class. 5th place, Mike Kuglich of New Berlin. 4th place, Steve Bain of West De Pere. 3rd place, Rick Tomaszewski of Wyowiga. 2nd place, Mike Winter of Franklin. And the champion at 132 pounds from Mineral Point High School, Mark Schmitz, with a record of 30 victories and 2 losses. We'll be back with more wrestling highlights after these messages on your WIAA network station.